City versus Nottingham Forest, Saturday 3 p.m. at Nottingham Forest. Last time out it was a 6-0 win. Well, last time against Nottingham Forest it was a 6-0 win. Last time out though, it was a 3-1 win against Arsenal to take us top of the league. Yeah, game preview for Nottingham Forest. Let's go. Nottingham Forest at the weekend. They're actually doing a bit better than most people expected after their shaky start to the season. There was a bit of an expectation after they signed so many players. They signed like 20 players in the summer and spent loads of money, so there was a little bit of an expectation, but they didn't really hit those expectations earlier on in the season. But they're not doing too bad at the moment. I think they're around middle table-ish. They're not in the relegation zone or near it anyway, I think. We'll check that out in a minute, and we'll also see how the results have been and see what the team is actually made up of with all these signings they brought in. I haven't really taken notice of Nottingham this season. We beat them 6-0 once, and then I haven't really taken notice of them since, really. But yeah, City, as we all know, a 3-1 win against Arsenal on Wednesday. Great win, brought us top of the league, like I said, hoping to continue that good form. So what is it now? Maybe a 3-1 win and 2 wins now since Spurs? Yeah, I think that's right. Or did we play someone last? Who did we play last weekend? I've forgotten already. I'll check that in the previous fixtures for City as well. But yeah, hoping to start a winning streak now. Just romp to the title, get that win streak going like City usually do every year. The most we've had is maybe 3 or 4 this season, and it's definitely only been 3 since the World Cup. So we've not been on a run this season yet. It's usually around Christmas time, which would have been January time when we start the winning run. But it's been broken up by a couple of bad results here and there. Tottenham and Everton and whatnot. So yeah, also Champions League midweek as well, so I'm expecting some changes this weekend from the Arsenal game. We'll get into the City lineup as well. But yeah, what are some of the changes I want to see? The only change I want to see is us going to a back 4. If we go to a back 4, the changes we make shouldn't make much of a difference, but it will help the changes out if we go back to a back 4. Pep said at the weekend his tactics did not work at all. They were horrible, to quote him. So yeah, that's a change I want to see. Back to a back 4. None of this 3 at the back anymore. Cut it out. Want rid of it. Okay, let's just have a little look at the table now and see where Forest are for a start, and then we'll obviously see where we are, because we all know where we are. Alright, Premier League table. Up at the top, like we know, it is Manchester City. 4 wins and 2 losses in the last 6. We're slowly but surely going to get rid of that loss to United. So after this, hopefully it's 5 wins and a loss in that last 6, and that'll be looking good. Newcastle again drew at the weekend again, another draw. They seem to be dropping points the whole time now. Of course, Arsenal still have to go there at St James's Park though. That'll be tough for them, but it's not about them. It's not about them. It's about City. City are top. Although Arsenal do have a game in hand. But let's see where Nottingham Forest are. They're not in the top 10 anyway. Okay, 14th. 14th is where Nottingham Forest are. Not too bad. 5 points above Leeds. 6 points above the drop zone. So a loss of the weekend could bring them closer to that. Well, will probably bring them closer to that drop zone. With these teams could be getting a win or a draw. Southampton bottom with 15. Jeez. But we're looking at Nottingham Forest here. 6 wins, 6 draws and 10 losses. Wowza. 17 goals scored, 37 conceded. They don't seem to score much. Leicester seem to be. Yeah, they're just mad at both ends. But 17 scored, 37 conceded. 17 is the second lowest in the league. 17 scored in the league is second lowest, like I said. Well, tied second lowest with Wolves, and we beat Wolves 3-0. Nottingham Forest, they shouldn't be scoring on us. That's point number 1. 37 conceded. That should be up with. It's up there with one of the highest in the league. You've got Bournemouth with the most, then Southampton, like you'd expect, then Leeds, Leicester, and then Nottingham Forest. So yeah, relative to their position on the table. So yeah, we should be scoring against them and we shouldn't be conceding, but then depends on our lineup as well. But actually it doesn't depend on our lineup. Any team we put out there, as long as it's not full of academy graduates or just academy players, it should beat Nottingham Forest. Actually, we'll see what kind of team they have first. Their form isn't too bad. 3 wins, 2 draws and a loss in the last 6. That ain't too bad. A loss at the weekend though. Who was that against? No idea. We'll see that in a second. But yeah, Nottingham Forest 14th in the table. We should be winning, but let's just see their most recent results. Here we are, Fulham versus Nottingham Forest. Fulham were quite a decent team. They're like top 8 in the table. 7th, exactly, yeah. So 2-0 against Fulham. That's not the worst loss. A 6-pointer win against Leeds. That's a 6-pointer. That was a good win for them. 2-0 loss to, that's the Carabao Cup anyway. They were never really going to win that. The quarter-final in the Carabao Cup, 5-0 on aggregate. 1-1 draw against Bournemouth. Another 6-pointer, but this didn't count as 6 points because neither team won it. 2-0 against Leicester. So they're 1-1. Oh, that's the Carabao Cup again. But yeah, another 1-0 against Southampton. In the Premier League, they've only really been playing teams around them, so maybe that's why their form looks good. But they beat Southampton, they beat Leicester City, they drew to Bournemouth, then they beat Leeds and then lost to Fulham. So they're beating kind of the teams below them, around them, apart from that 1-1 draw to Bournemouth. But yeah, that's good for their form. So yeah, so the teams below them aren't catching points on them in 6-pointer game, like I said. But yeah, decent form for Nottingham, Premier League wise, bar that 2-0 loss to Fulham, which is an iffy one. It's not like one of the teams that you expect nothing from them, nothing from the game. They probably tried that game. But yeah, that's Nottingham Forest's form. So what's that? 3 wins, 2 draws, and a loss in the last 6. That's Nottingham Forest. Now let's cross over to the main guys. Manchester City's form. Well, we'll just go back to the Premier League table. As we've seen, 23, one more game played than Arsenal. 16 wins, 3 draws, 4 losses. 59 goals scored, the most in the league. 23. Newcastle have only conceded 13. That's good. That's very good, to be fair. 23 is the third. Chelsea only conceded. How would Chelsea only conceded 22? They only scored 23 though. But so it's Newcastle United top, then Arsenal and Chelsea. City have the 4th best defensive record in the league, but they scored the most goals. You can say Erling Haaland's bailing us out of trouble then. Maybe he is good for us. Maybe we do play better with him. But yeah, as we've seen, 4 wins, 2 losses in the last 6. Go into the results now. Of course, we know Aston Villa, that's who they played. How did I forget that already? But yeah, 3-1 win against Arsenal, 3-1 win against Aston Villa, the 1-0 loss against Spurs, the 1-0 win against Arsenal, 3-0 against Wolves, 4-2 against Spurs. And the United one's almost out of sight now. These 2 losses are almost out of sight. Then you go back to these. But yeah, we're doing decent at the moment. 1-0 to Tottenham was a bit of an iffy one. We always lose to Tottenham, so we won't count it. So we're on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 game winning streak without the Tottenham game. 4 wins and a loss in our last 5. Yeah, not too bad. Pep slowly but surely getting City back on track formation wise, although he slipped up against Arsenal with the whole, he said it himself, like I said, we got to get rid of this 3 at the back system. Yeah, not doing well at all with it. We only do well when we change at a half time or at 60 minutes. That's when we start to play. So yeah, we go into the predicted Forest lineup that I got off some website that I got the same for the Aston Villa one. So this is Nottingham Forest's lineup, or predicted lineup, or probable formation, I'm guessing. These guys probably know their stuff I know nothing about. Nottingham Forest, but looking at these names, it sounds about right. Maybe Scarpa and Mangala, I wouldn't know about them, but boy, that's a Champions League backline if I've ever seen one. Keylor Navas, 4 or 5 time Champions League winner, I'm pretty sure. Serge Aurier, he's Paris Saint-Germain, Spurs, Champions League, well, not quality, but he's not Champions League quality, that's why he left those clubs, but he's a Champions League caliber. Well, he's played in the Champions League loads. Felipe was from Atletico, they got him in the summer as well. Warral, I don't know who he is, I'm guessing he's their captain from the Championship or whatnot. He's there at centre back. Renan Lodi, I wanted him in the summer, to be fair, and they have him at left back. Josh Shelvey, I think they only got him in January. That's a surprising one, but that's a good back 4, back 5, to be fair. Mangala, I've no idea who he is, so I'm not going to comment on him at all. If he's new or if he was from the Championship, no idea. But that's Josh Shelvey's a decent player if he plays now. Brennan Johnson on the right, Ariel Hawani's favourite player at the moment. Yeah, he seems to be their best player this season, I think. Then you've got Morgan Gibbs-White, who came in for big money. I think it was like 30 million or something like that in the summer. G. Scarpa, like I said, know nothing about, so I'll say now on him. And then Chris Wood, who Newcastle bought in the summer, I'm pretty sure, for a couple of million, but he must be, well, he's obviously at Nottingham Forest. I don't know if it's on loan or if it's a buy or whatnot. But yeah, a lot of recognisable players in this 11 for me anyway, apart from Wall, Mangala and Scarpa. Johnson didn't know until this season. I think he's American or Canadian or something like that. But yeah, that's not a bad team. That's a tidy team. I can see why they're not in a relegation scrap. Well, down there in the bottom 3-4. I can see why they're 14th from this formation. And yeah, danger men, obviously Brennan Johnson. Chris Wood being able to hold the ball up. Depends on what centre backs we play. If Akanji plays, he's not very good. He's not very good in the air or physicality wise. Can't really hold players off, or he gets bullied quite a bit. If Laporte's partnered him back there, he's not the most physical either. So maybe Chris Wood could cause some problems. Morgan Gibbs-White is a bit of a unit as well, I'm pretty sure. Ori and Lodi, if they're bombing down the lines, they can whip in balls all day. Keylor Navas is a great goalkeeper, so I wouldn't be surprised if he pulled off some wonder saves. I'm pretty sure last weekend he had an unbelievable game. Is that the game? No, they lost 2-0. Maybe it was the week before. but he was having a wonder game one of the past couple of games. So yeah, that's Nottingham Forest. Onto the City squad now. Very interesting this will be. This is my City lineup for tomorrow's game or Saturday's game. This is the City lineup that I think will be put out rather than the one that I want to be put out. I think because of the Champions League game in midweek and we just played Arsenal and 2.5 days rest and recovery, I think there'll be a couple of changes at least anyway. There could be more, to be fair, but this is what I'm predicting / going with, kind of formation wise, what I want. Basically the best of a bad situation. So Edison in goal, I think he'll play, although I want Ortega to play, get a run of game. I'm gonna go with this formation. I want it to be a back four, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's these three as a back three and Rico Lewis and Vernon into midfield. But I'm going to go Nathan Ake at left back, Laporte to come back in instead of Ruben Diaz, who might be rested for the Champions League game because he's only just come back from injury, remember, and he's played 2 or 3 games in a row now. Oh no, he got subbed off at half time against Aston Villa because of the yellow card, so who knows actually. But I think Akanji might come back in to partner Laporte in the centre of defence. Same with Kyle Walker with Ruben Diaz. He's only just come back recently from injury / being left off the team for attitude reasons or whatnot, or not having a smiley face. But yeah, Rico Lewis might come in, although I wouldn't be surprised if Kyle Walker plays, but I'm just thinking maybe with the changes he might make, Rico Lewis might come in. The midfield, I think Bernardo might drop out. He ran his socks off against Arsenal. He's getting run kind of ragged by Saka and then switched to the right wing and ran there as well. So Bernardo might be rested. Wouldn't be surprised if KDB got rested either for Champions League. But I'm expecting Rodri to play. Rodri always plays. But if we're winning by a good bit, I expect him to be not hauled off, but rested and Phillips brought on. Ilkay Gundogan, yeah, I'm expecting him to drop a bit deeper this game. He's been playing a lot higher recently, but since Bernardo Silva's not playing, I expect him to drop deeper. Kevin De Bruyne playing because Kevin De Bruyne always has to play. He's back in form now, and now he's back in form, he's just got to keep playing him. Keep that form going before he drops again. Into the forward line now, Jack Grealish. Oh, actually, he got injured against Arsenal, so Jack Grealish might actually be rested, you know. I may have got this one wrong. This has only just popped into my head now about the injury. I haven't read up on enough news today to know if he's injured or not. So maybe Foden can switch across and go in there and Mahrez to come in instead. But yeah, if Grealish is fit, I'd want Grealish to play there. Because I kind of want Phil Foden on the right. I just Phil Foden on the left anymore just doesn't cut it. He's always forced to come back inside or go backwards. Yeah, I kind of want Phil Foden to play on the right. And Mahrez got hauled off early against Arsenal. So maybe Pep's thinking it could be a good time to introduce Phil onto the right hand side. I'm going Erling Haaland up top as well. You know, Alvarez could come in especially with the Champions League on Wednesday. You need Haaland fit and firing, but he had a good game against Arsenal, Haaland did. And I think the Prem games you just have to keep playing him so he gets that record. Although I know Pep doesn't care about records, but Haaland wants to play every game. But I think Alvarez is going to have to get some minutes sooner or later. But then again, you can't make too many changes. It's Pep roulette. You're not going to know this one. Guaranteed no one gets this lineup correct at the weekend, especially because of the Champions League game in midweek. No one's getting this spot on. Fair play if you do. If this is spot on, fair play to me, but no, I don't think this will be it. This is just my guess at anyway, / what I kind of want to happen. The main thing I want from this team is 4 at the back. I harp on about every single video now, but I'm going to have to put it as like the channel banner. City play 4 at the back. Pep, you ball man. But yeah, that's the City side I want up against this Nottingham Forest team. So yeah, that's my game preview for the Nottingham Forest Manchester City game. Predictions now. What I think will happen. Usually I'd go for a biggish win against a team like Nottingham Forest, but with the rotations that may happen, and Nottingham Forest improving loads more and bringing very good players in since our 6-0 win at the Etihad very early in the season. Oh, I think I might just go for a 3-0 win on this one. Just a 3-0 win on this one, but yeah. Actually no, I'm going to go 2-0 on this one. Will they score? I don't know. I really don't know. 2-0, 2-1. I'm going to go by a margin of 2 goals, so at least 2-0 or 3-1. The last 2 games are 3-1, and I predicted the last one, to be fair. So I'm going to go 2-0 on this one. Just please play a 4 at the back, Pep. That's all I asked for. But yeah, that's my prediction. 2-0 to City. Good win. Keep the win streak going. That's my prediction. Leave your predictions in the comments below. Do you think we'll make many changes to the side that played Arsenal? Do you think we'll rest some players for the Champions League game in midweek next week? Yeah. Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and hit that subscribe button, and I shall see you for the post-match review. Peace.